Hello there, and welcome once again to the Mayor's Magazine. I'm Mick Cornett, and this is our program for December 2016. Thanks for joining us. In this first segment, we're going to talk to Sean Voskuhl, who's the AARP Oklahoma State Director. Welcome to the Mayor's Magazine.
It's great to be here.
You've had a kind of a long list of life experiences that are probably worth reflecting on.
Sure.
Talk about your professional career.
Sure. You know, I've last 15 years I've been with AARP, started out doing their advocacy and communications, and the last 5.5 years as state director. So I've been living here in Oklahoma County for 15 years, and before that I was born in Enid, Oklahoma, and raised on a farm in Marshall, Oklahoma. So I moved to the big city.
Yeah. Well, AARP, they're obviously minimally a national organization. Are they an international organization?
Yeah, we do have membership across the pond in many foreign countries, but you know, nationally we have about 38 million members, and here in Oklahoma we have 400,000 members, and we're a membership organization for folks 50 years of age and older. We advocate and provide education and community resources, whether it's family caregiving, working on pocketbook issues like utility rate increases, to help folks know about frauds and scams out there. And we have the Fraud Watch Network and a trained group of volunteers who go out and make presentations that are fraud fighters.
What's your primary method of communicating with your members?
You know, it's really changed through the 15 years I've been at AARP. We used to have a large mailing list. We mailed a lot.
Yeah, I remember the month I turned 50, you sent me a magazine.
We know who you are and where you live.
I thought, how did they know? And then I thought, I'm not a member of AARP. I'm much too young. And so I tossed it in the trash can every month for about a year. And then eventually I started reading, and then I found how relevant it was, and I've been kind of following along much more closely. But I don't know how many people are like me, but it takes a while for the magazine to finally get into their reading list, because they have to get through the denial period that they're actually old enough to be a member.
Hey, we're cooler than you think. So you know, I think for sure. You know, a lot of the issues are intergenerational that we deal with, and many parents who are in their 40s and 50s that are raising kids and taking care of parents, and we've got a lot of resources available for family caregivers and the intergenerational play and the pocketbook issues that we work on. So,
what aspect of the national political discussion are your members most engaged? I mean, is it health care? Is it the Second Amendment? Is it taxes? Where do they want you guys to spend your efforts to change Congress?
You know, like in Oklahoma, we have close to 600,000 family caregivers, and so we've been working a several two-pronged approach, both on the state level, locally, as well as on the national level, making sure we have additional rights and supports for family caregivers. You know, in Oklahoma any day, almost 600,000 Oklahomans are providing care to a loved one, a friend, or neighbor, and they need additional support, respite care, access to resources, and that's one thing. The other thing is Social Security, making sure Social Security is solvent for future generations. And so many people think, well, you know, it may not be around when I'm old enough, but if we make changes right now, it can be solvent and get through the partisan gridlock. Because if we think back in 1980, 81, when Speaker Tip O'Neill, who was a Democrat, and President Ronald Reagan, they came together with the commission, and they adopted some changes to Social Security, and it made it solvent for 30 more years. So it's time to do that again. And so we're really through our campaign of Take a Stand, we're urging candidates running for office once they get elected to make Social Security a priority and make sure we make it solvent for future generations.
The city of Oklahoma City is also looking after your generation, and
yes.
I say your generation, the 50-over generation, through its senior wellness centers that are currently under construction and will be opening up this winter. Yeah, talk about that aspect of it and what you sense that's going to do for the community.
Well, that's a great opportunity, and what we like about it, it's a true community center. So many people are fixated on, do we have senior nutrition centers, and that's all there can be. What we really find great about the senior wellness centers, it's a true community center about wellness. People are living longer, aging, and they're more active and mobile, and we need to adapt our services and what we provide to people for a more active, older population. And Oklahoma City is doing some great things. The walkability, making sure we have safe streets and more sidewalks for mobility. We know that 8 out of 10 Americans favor communities who have access to good sidewalks, and we need to make sure that we're doing more in those areas. And Oklahoma City was highlighted in a book that was just released, and it's called Where We Live, Communities for All Ages. And Oklahoma City is the spotlight on page 47. And Mayor, thank you for your kind words and forward to the book, but it really highlights the leadership and that you provided for Oklahoma City with not only the weight loss campaign, but how MAPS has expanded for making Oklahoma City more livable, more access for folks who want to walk, ride their bike. And it's really been a great shift, and we applaud you and your leadership as we move forward.
Well, changing the built environment is not easy or cheap, but we're probably ahead of almost every other country out there. But we had a long way to go. We had designed this city around cars, and so to change that perspective, to design it around people, exactly. It not only takes a while physically, but it takes a while mentally to realize that we'd become overly reliant on the automobile and the things that we built. We have just 30 or 40 seconds left if you want to go through those things or give out another message.
You bet. And that book is a great highlight of Oklahoma City's work. And so there are things that people can do in their own homes. We know that allowing people, they want to stay in their own home as long as they can in age. And so we've got some great resources called Prepare to Care and the Home Fit Guide, which allows folks to look at what you can do to your home to make changes. We know as you get older, having wide doors, having the lever handles, watching the steps into entrances in your house or the bathroom are very important. And so if we want people to stay in their own home, we need to make sure that we are having people the home is fit for people as they age. And so we can provide resources. We have an occupational therapist who's a volunteer, as well as a certified aging in place instructor. And if you're interested in that or any of these resources, you can go to aarp.org/OK, and we'd be happy to provide these resources to you. But also, if you need a presentation to your civic church group, we're available to do that. So there are many things people can do in their own home communities. We have walk audits that people can use as well in their neighborhood. Go ahead and go around your neighborhood and make sure your crossings are safe. Are the sidewalks adequate for what you need? And this could be something that you provide to your city council member that, we need to make our neighborhoods more safe, and our walking audit is a great tool that people can take that initiative to say, I want change and I want to make a difference. And so we've got great resources and we'd be happy to provide those.
He is Sean Voskuhl, and he runs AARP in Oklahoma. Thank you so much, Sean.
Thank you, Mayor.
We'll have more on the Mayor's Magazine after this.
If one word could describe auto bill pay from Oklahoma City Utilities Customer Service Division, it would be Simplematic. Because auto bill pay makes it simple to schedule automatic payments for your utility bill. And that's simply Simplematic. Go to okc.gov and click Online Payments to schedule payments from your bank account. And boom, your bill gets paid automatically, on time, every time, month after month. You can review bills on your computer or smart device and set limits to avoid overdrafts. With auto bill pay, worrying about utility bills is a thing of the past. Visit okc.gov today and sign up for auto bill pay, the Simplematic way to pay your utility bill.
Welcome back to the Mayor's Magazine. In this segment, we're going to learn more about what's going on in downtown Oklahoma City. And as you know, when the holidays come, downtown Oklahoma City gets very, very busy. And, one of the best decisions I think the city made is about 15 years ago, we started working with Downtown OKC to kind of allow the private sector, in this case a nonprofit, kind of take ownership over some of the things that just seem to be falling through the cracks. And, some of that was, just basically, cleanliness and some extra attention to impress tourists. And then it kind of evolved into now where it's become a major holiday event and really responsible for a lot of economic development in the city. And so today we have a couple of people from the marketing department. First of all, Tracey Sanger is the marketing manager, and she's brought Riley Cole with her. Welcome.
Thank you.
And you young ladies are from the suburbs. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, I'm from Mustang, Oklahoma. Went out to school in Weatherford and was really antsy to get back downtown. Moved downtown just before I graduated and continued to commute.
Wow, that is a commitment. All right, and Riley?
Yeah, I have a similar story. Grew up in Moore and then just graduated in Edmond, and now I live downtown and here and get to commute to work, and it's only 3-4 minutes, so it's nice.
Very nice. And we are, kind of raising a new population of people who want to live downtown.
Definitely.
And so when you live downtown, what's the difference? I mean, you grew up in the suburbs, Mustang, and Westmore High School.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much as suburban as you can get in the Oklahoma City area. And so now you live downtown. What's different? What are the pros and the cons of that lifestyle?
Oh, it's everything's outdoor.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that we want to do is outdoors and outside, and we don't care about having a big space anymore because everything we do is outside with friends or at a restaurant or meeting downtown and walking a district. So it's much more active. I rode my bike everywhere that I wanted to go the second that I moved downtown.
Mm-hmm.
So that was really nice.
Definitely spend a lot more time outside of the house than inside. That's nice.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, now let's talk about downtown in December.
Yes.
And as we tape this show and get ready for December air dates, it started back in November.
Yes.
And so kind of get us up to date with where you all started and how it's evolved since then.
Yes, a couple of weeks ago, we had a new event in Automobile Alley called Lights on Broadway. You might remember the light display that we've had for many years there, but this is a new event to really kick off that light display. It's really so stunning and so beautiful. It's the biggest one downtown, and so we really use that time to celebrate that. And the ice rink opened in early November. We were worried about the temperatures there for a minute, but it was definitely cool enough to open. So we got that started.
And so what's, if someone's watching this and they're thinking, I might want to bring my kids or my grandkids, what advice would you have for them, Riley? What age groups are appropriate for downtown in December?
Yeah, I would definitely say all ages are welcome. Definitely the ice rink can appease anyone from a little kid to adult. And then also Saturdays with Santa is definitely geared towards little kids. So Devon's Saturdays with Santa is in December, the 3rd, 10th, and 17th. And Santa's there and other characters and crafts and snacks and all kinds of stuff.
And you get to take a picture.
Absolutely.
With your own phone, so you don't have to wait and print.
Yeah.
Right. And it doesn't cost anything, as I
cost
recall.
anything.
So it's an opportunity to sit with Santa for free.
Absolutely.
And take pictures all you want. A lot of it is weather related, but nice days, even if it's a little cool, if it's still nice enough to get out, people like getting outside and look for an excuse to go downtown. And so give us some example of some of the other standard events that people have gotten used to enjoying.
The Snow Tubing Winter Festival is coming back to the Dodgers ballpark this year. And so they have kind of grown that event. It's not just the slide anymore. There's a train and some other activities that happen in the Rotunda area there. And so that's really grown a lot. And then all of the light displays, 4 districts have them this year. The Bricktown Canal has a light display with free water taxi rides that happen every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday throughout the end of December. And that's also free and open to the public. And then Midtown has a light display, and Auto Alley, we mentioned theirs, and Film Row too.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Riley, discuss the dollars and cents of all this. You all have to raise some money, right, to put all this on.
Yes, there's definitely a lot of fun.
Corporate sponsors, and how does all that work?
Yes, there's a lot of fundraising that goes into this event, but Downtown in December is presented by Devon. So they're a huge component of this event. Then we also have other sponsors. You'll need to help me.
Yeah, there are lots of corporate sponsors. Small businesses have really gotten on board in the past couple of years and started supporting us. And even we have a couple of individual donors too.
And we've had some events where 5Ks and up staircases. Are we doing any of that this year?
Yes,
we
the
are.
Sandridge Santa Run is coming back, and it actually has a new location this year. So it used to be held in Leadership Square, and we've moved it over to Sandridge. So we're excited about that change. It'll be new and fun, and excited to see all the new costumes. And then also Little Willie's Triple Dog Dare, the stair climbing. I will not be participating in that one, but
it's brutal. It's brutal.
What time of day is that?
It's in the morning. Yes, it's at 8 in the morning, and it's really for the fittest of the fit.
Which buildings do you climb?
It's Oklahoma Tower,
Leadership.
both towers, and Leadership Square. And I think that's it. And you can actually
That's
choose.
enough.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're right. You're so right. You can actually choose how many you want to do, which is a nice
So you
part.
climb up the stairs of Oklahoma Tower, then you come down, you go across the street to Leadership and climb both of those towers.
Starts in Leadership.
So I'm guessing you're talking 60 floors total, something like that?
Something like
It is
that,
something
yeah.
like that. Yeah. Way too many for me. I'm like, cap it at 5.
Right.
And then some of the firemen, they'll do it in full gear.
Wow.
So kudos
Impressive.
to them.
That's exciting. Well, thank you all for all the
Thank
work. And tell
you.
the staff out downtown Oklahoma City how much Oklahoma City people appreciate all the events down there.
Thank you.
It's a
And
lot.
give us some website information where people can remind themselves of all this
So
fun stuff.
all of the Downtown in December events can be found at downtowninDecember.com.
And then all year long, we hold other events, and so you can check downtownokc.com for those.
All right, downtowninDecember.com.
Yeah.
Riley and Stacy, thank you both
Thank
for coming
you.
on.
Thanks.
We'll have more on the Mayor's Magazine after this.
Hi guys, I'm Enes Kanter from Oklahoma City Thunder. We're here today in animal shelter. When I was a kid in Turkey, I have a lot of, I had cats, I have a lot of birds and fish, but I never, had a dog before. Now I'm like thinking about adopting an animal. Please get involved with OKC Animal Welfare and get involved and adopt and volunteer like I am.
Down here. That dog has a thirsty look in his eye. Did you know that it's really not that hard to save water? Like here in the sink. Don't make me run too much. Could somebody shut me off? Now this is my kind of party. A full house. Let's roll. Hey, we're in a drought, which means I'm kind of a big deal. So save me. Really? Save me!
Welcome back to the Mayor's Magazine. In this segment, we're going to talk with Tracey Zeeck. She's a local woman who has written a book that people just love, especially little people. Welcome to the show, Tracey.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and you and I have known each other for, 15 or 20 years, but I didn't know you were an author.
Okay.
I knew you had many talents, but I didn't know about this. And apparently this book is getting rave reviews, and lots of people are consuming it. So how did all this happen? What was the inspiration that got you to want to write a book?
Well, the Not In Here story came from our actual story of adoption. We adopted our son at birth here in Oklahoma City from Catholic Charities, and in order to keep that story as like a part of his daily life, I just wrote a story for him, and the story became a little book, and the little book became something we could share with friends so they could tell their children their adoption story as well. And so light bulb moment, let's do something with this and see if we can help more people. And so that's what we did. Ended up working with a publishing company based here in Oklahoma City, Penny Candy Books. They're in Oklahoma City and Savannah, and ended up publishing it with the illustrators also originally from here. This is where we met. He lives in New York now, but this is where we met. So it's all OKC based at some level.
How fun. So, a lot of people out there think, I want to write a book. How would you encourage them where do they start?
Write the book. And I don't mean, I think you know what I'm talking about because you've written. So, but you write the book. You don't have a book until you've written the manuscript or you've written the words down. And I think that's the thing. You think you have a book until you start the process, and then you may end up throwing away 5 books. So that's my first bit of advice: is write it down. Get it out of you as poorly, as terrible as it is. Get it out of you, write it down, and then you can start the revisions. But you can't do that until it's down on paper.
Mm-hmm. And it does seem like with publishing is changing so much, and opportunities to sell books online has changed so much. It does seem like there are opportunities to expose your idea, your book, or your concept to a wide range of people that weren't available to us 20 years ago.
Exactly. And I struggled. I had an agent in New York, and he wasn't able to sell it. He thought there were enough books about adoption. So he left to go to another agency where they didn't even work with children's literature, so I didn't know what I was going to do. And I came back and I ran into Chad Reynolds, like I said, and he ended up publishing it. But my thing was I had to have it published by a publishing company. I couldn't self-publish this book because it was my personal story. It just felt way too indulgent to think that I needed to write my story, publish it, and then make everybody buy it. So so this way I make a lot less money and I have a lot less control, but I think it's a much better product than if I had put it up myself.
Yeah. What sort of feedback are you getting?
The best. From adults who were adopted at birth or later in life, to parents of adopted children, and everything in between, and just people who relate to the struggle and relate to the feeling. the uniqueness about this book that didn't exist, which is why I wrote it in the first place. We have a lot of great books on children's books about adoption out there, and we have a lot of them in our home, and we love them and we read them. This one sort of tells the story about the parents until the baby shows up. So what they go through and what they're looking for and how kind of it's hard, and maybe it's okay to have hard times, and you have something in sight. And also sometimes what you think you're going for isn't really your goal, and there's a lesson in there that is unrelated to babies altogether.
Mm-hmm. Now you kind of wrote this one for a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a second book, and do you have a new purpose, or is it just something you want to explore?
No, this one, I mean, it's there are two. One of them is actually being written, so I can talk about it as a book. So it's in the process of being written. There's some typing that's actually taking place, but it is about this little baby grows up. The little baby's a kid and encounters some things, but also like I'm not going to tell you.
Okay, but
the
same
hook.
characters.
But the same characters, and the little boy
so
grows
it's kind
up.
of a sequel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and the idea is, I guess, that people that bought the first one will want to come back and see the second one.
People want the first one or the second one. The main thing with the book is that it is useful, and that is what I kind of always try to be in my life. You've known me for a long time. I try to be useful, and so that's the purpose of that. That's what my goal was with that. In the meantime, it is going crazy. I just got back from Denver on a book tour there, and we were all over the place, sold out books, interviews there, and then came back here and had my big launch party this weekend. Then we have another book signing coming up, and so there's just a lot going on with it, and it's doing a lot. It's a lot more active than I thought it was going to be, so it's a lot of fun.
Well, if someone at home is learning about it for the first time, how can they get the book?
They can go to Full Circle Bookstore, Barnes & Noble. They can go to pennycandybooks.com. It's on Amazon. It's at different indie bookstores and Barnes & Nobles across the U.S.
Okay, so lots of opportunities to buy it online. Locally here, Full Circle Books is a great local bookstore
at
50 Penn Place. And it's called The Not In Here Story. It's written by Tracey Zeeck and illustrated by David Bizzarro. That is his real name?
It's his real name.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty cool.
I know. And if you met him, you'd be like, well, of course that's him.
Tracey Zeeck's our guest. Thanks, Tracey.
Thank you.
Final segment coming up after this.
At Embark, we're not just stops on a map or collection of random people. We are a community connected.
Since I usually don't get off till around 11, having this late night route is really a stress reliever for me.
Our choices on where to live, work, learn, meet, and play grow with the connections we create. And with strong connections come economic opportunities and vibrant communities. Where public transit goes, community grows. Plan your journey at embarkok.com.
Welcome back to the Mayor's Magazine. In this final segment, we're going to meet a young woman who's making quite a mark for herself in the media and pop culture world. It's Ieshia. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
You were telling me you grew up in Oklahoma City, went to Centennial High School?
Definitely. Well, I was born in Spencer. I was in Spencer. And
well,
then
we'll claim Spencer. It's not that far away.
It's not. Yeah. And I moved to Oklahoma City, and I graduated in that area.
Yeah. And once you graduated, you decided to pursue a musical career. So tell us about that.
Yes. Ever since I was younger, 5 years old, I've always wanted to sing. When anyone asked me, it was, I want to be a singer when I grow up. So later on, after I attended college for a few years, I decided to take it on professionally with the help of my family. And since then, I've just been going.
Yeah. So what type of music do you sing?
Pop, R&B, hip-hop.
Do you cover other works, or are these
No, I like to stay original because I think I'll be more memorable that way. So I go in, right now, currently, I'm going into the Oklahoma City Public Schools and touring. And I think that when I come in there with a message, I'd like to give them a little bit of fun before, because I've been in high school before and someone comes in and they're like boring.
Yeah.
So what I do, I go in and I give like a 15-minute show, and then I talk on anti-bullying, suicide, and the HIPAP.
I see. So it's quite a social cause.
Definitely.
Yeah. And so I would assume the schools are welcoming you to come in and be a part of their curriculum?
Yes. We went to the board first and got it approved. And what we told them, we've proved to them. So this is our second year doing this. What we do, we go in, and after I finish performing, I give away 2 pairs of shoes to not just any student. We go in and give it to the most needy child. And we buy it out of our own money, but we are currently kind of sponsored under Old Surety Life Insurance Company and do that. The HYPE app it stands for Helping Youth Prepare for Excellence. It provides free food, free clothing, free medical, free counseling, all for someone that's in need. And all you have to do to download it is text ICON to 95577.
A lot of social causes out there you could choose. Why bullying? Why anti-bullying? What drew you to that issue?
Because I think that a lot of people, they don't cover mental health. And I think more than ever this year, I've seen a lot of people go through, just tough times, and nobody wants to talk about it. So when children go to school, they're getting bullied, and nobody thinks about how that can affect the child. So they go home and they do something that, nobody ever thought that they would.
Yeah.
And nobody is able to reach them. And that's why I want to go into the schools and talk about it.
Do you have a sense if bullying is a bigger problem for boys or girls in high school? Is there one sex that seems to have a larger issue?
No, because nowadays everybody follows trends. And if you can easily get bullied if your shoes aren't looking right, or if your hair's not looking right, or just because you might be failing in class, or you're not as good in a sport as someone else is, it's many reasons to get bullied. So I don't think it's,
What about social media and the anonymity of it seems to lend to people saying cruel things? Would you consider that a form of bullying?
Yes, I say it's mental, it's physical. There's no limit to that.
Getting back to your music career, you say you're writing these songs, or they?
Yes, I write all of my music. I'm in my room, and I have all the lights off, and I just I pray before I write anything, and it just comes to me. A lot of people think that maybe somebody's written it because sometimes it sounds a little too good.
Yeah.
I have to brag a little bit.
Do you have people performing with you, or you do it all
I
by
do have a
yourself?
song with Snoop Dogg. It's called Jam, and we recently released that, I think, last year.
And how did you get related to Snoop Dogg?
We were traveling back and forth from California every 2 weeks, and my managers kind of got in touch with his camp, and that's how it went.
No, that's obviously a big opportunity
Oh,
for you.
definitely.
How many of the Oklahoma City high schools have you visited so far?
Ooh, that's pretty tough. I would say definitely 12. I probably repeat some of the schools 2 or 3 times, like Capitol Hill. I go in there and I do 2 days because they have so many students, so we do 2 times.
All right. We got a couple of minutes left in the segment, and I want people to be able to hear you, and so we have some recordings of your music, so let's take a listen now.
I need the security. Who's calling at this time? Who's on the other line? It's not your mother, why? It's another lie. You sure smell like sour bomb. I don't smell like other guys. I don't wanna see her name another time. This relationship's so undefined. I need to hear you tell. This is how we do it. It's Friday night, and it's so live, and ain't nobody killing my vibe. We on with my walls. This my song. Yo, DJ, turn it up, 'cause it's time to. I love the way you. Can you feel that? I know you like my. Oh, it's time to. I love the way you. Can you feel that? I know you like my. I'll be vibing. Gonna light it. It's exciting.
Very, very impressive.
Thank you.
You bet. Her name is Ieshia. She is helping our young people in our high schools, delivering a message on anti-bullying and some other important subjects, and she's also very, very talented. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you.
And I'll be back next month, actually next year, with another show of the Mayor's Magazine. I'll see you then.
I'm Lee Criswell with Street Maintenance. Help us while we repair your city streets. Please slow down and be alert in all work zones.